Do you have a dream to write your own book? Are you struggling to paint your thoughts into beautiful words? If you have no clue how to publish a book, then you are in the right place. This podcast is for you. Our today's guest, Shweta Maheshwari, has already reached the landmark after becoming the best selling author not once but twice. Apart from this, she's a passionate public speaker, she's a life coach by compassion, and a thought designer by intention. Listen to her words. There's a lot to learn for you. Welcome, ma'am, to my podcast show, ABHIJIT'S Spectacle. This is the brand new episode of my podcast. I remember first time when I met you preparing for a speech contest. And the day when I first saw you, I decided to have a podcast session with you. And today, when we are recording this session, it's 9th of May, and coincidentally is a birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore. And I am interviewing an author.
Thank you
So
so
it's in
much. You're
coincidence.
comparing me with Rabindranath Tagore. Means beautiful.
No, there's something good happened to me because I'm starting my podcast and starting with an author, that too on the day of 9th of May. All the things are on same page. So my first questions will be, I did a bit of research about you and I got to know about you that you're a thought designer, and some sort of seminars you also did reaching to the colleges and schools, and how this thought in designing process work.
Yes, Abhijit. Whenever I go for any kind of sessions or I meet people, because as a life coach, I at times counsel people also, they come to me. The problem I find, the basic problem is with thoughts. It says thoughts are your building blocks. Like if you have a good thought in your mind, definitely you are going to get that kind of life. So shifting your thought is really important. Thought designer means here I want to say that whatever bad comes in your life, whatever be the things, have a good thought. Definitely you are going to get what you really want in your life. Thought designing means shifting your paradigm. Like as if I told, if you must have seen my yesterday videos, I told you that if a pendulum can move from one
Pendulum.
extreme to another extreme with just a gentle push, if we just change our thought, we are going to get whatever. And this I learned very late in my life. That is why I try my best that I should inculcate it in everyone. Change your thought, design your thoughts. We want designer homes, designer mobiles, but somewhere thoughts are not at all designed in that way to create a great life. So that is why I always try that I shift their paradigm towards what is good, not towards what is bad.
Right. I mean, it's also an interesting topic that we can also have a session on thought engineering, how to change your thought process and wipe out all those negativities and building blocks. And you can create something on your own, only with the positive and creative thoughts in your mind. So, ma'am, today we are basically focusing on your authorship and how have you been evolved as a writer. So, childhood, we all know it's the most special part of our lives. And we have got a lot of stories to share related to our childhood.
Yes.
So, in childhood, what did you want to become? What was your aspiration to become in life? So, have you got any stories related to those childhoods that you wanted to become something? To good
To
stories to
be
share.
yes. To be very honest, when I was a child, like I was a little kid, I never had such kind of dreams. And I used to follow what that other children, if sometimes teacher used to ask, then I would follow what other children are saying. If someone is saying, I want to become doctor, yes, I also want to become a doctor. Someday some other child will start with something else. I also wanted to become that. So there was a no fixed goal or nothing was there in my mind that I will become this. But yes, because I was a good student, like I was an intelligent child in my family as well. So my father had, he had big dreams for me. He always used to speak to everyone that my child will someone win someday. You dekh, ye mera naam kamayegi. Means this, my girl is going to get something in my life. I want you to become an IS officer. He had these big dreams for me. So somewhere when I found like at the late stages of my life that I haven't done anything what he had ever dreamt of me. So I think I should start doing something for at least to fulfill his wish. So yes, I started on with my journey as an author. Yeah, not an IS officer or something like that, but yeah, as he used to say, कि मेरी बेटी एक दिन नाम कमाएगी. So I'm on my way.
Okay. Actually, this happens to, I guess, almost everyone, that all wants to do something for their parents, and sooner or later we realize it and started doing it. And the same thing happened to you as well. That is quite similar. That happened to me as well in the same way. So that coming to my next question, which is co-related with this topic, that then what inspired you to write your first book? Was your father's advice on that childhood, or something else that inspired you to write, to be an author, to write your first book?
To be very honest, Abhijit, I never had this inspiration in my life that I'll become an author. I even never thought of to become an author. I don't know, somewhere in 2018, I remember it's 1st January 2018, I received a message from my mentor that I want you to write goals on a piece of paper and share with like the closest people of your life. And so in that, I don't know why I wrote that I will write a book. And then means how things came up, since synchronicity happened, or I don't know. I started writing it late, like September 2018. I started writing. Even I have written in the month of January. But then the book, when book got finished, it got published. It really got huge compliments from people. So this was a sudden, just I think maybe my subconscious was working for that, because I have written on a piece of paper that I will write a book. I don't know what kind of inspiration was there inside book
Okay,
writing.
nice. And sometimes our mentor can foresee that something is within us, and they try to write it down in a, I mean, force you to write it down in a piece of paper and make a
Yes.
smart goal. And this was your one of your smart goals, and you achieved it starting from 2018. And when did your first books published? That
It
She Met
got
Life.
published in 2019 September. Like within 1 year, I had written also. Means I didn't take time. I don't take like 2 to 3 years. I know, because I know many writers, because those whom I'm mentoring or who know me or who come to me like we are writing it since 2 or 3 years. Means how can it be possible that within 2 years you have come up with two books? And also I
Right.
have done like co-author. I co-authored many of the books as well. I don't know. Means yeah, within 1 year I finished it. And 2020, like in the beginning of 2021, I accomplished writing my second book as well.
That's something incredible, ma'am. So, ma'am, your first book was a She Met Life, what was Amazon's bestseller as well. So, can you just brief about something, that what we can have a takeaways from your book, that She Met Life, what it can teach us, and what type of genres it follows? The book comes from, in which genre?
Yes, the book is actually a transformational self-help book, but it is in the form of a story, which is also a fiction. Like it's, you can say it's a fictional self-help book. I know that when we read book, most of the time, many people, like if I'll go for my audience as well, many of them don't like to read those theories or those principles or fundas that has been given in the book. A story always attracts. And as a Toastmaster, we know that a story connects well. And through a story, you learn a lot of lessons. So that is why the She Met Life, when I have written, I thought that I'm not going to go with some principles or some fundas. Rather, I will write it in the form of a story where my audience will be learning that how can they transform themselves. So this book includes all the things that the protagonist had went through, maybe how she shifted her thought process, how she became self-disciplined, whatever the steps she had taken, how she learned that this world is beautiful. Even she had learned a lot of spiritual lessons also, which I had even given in my book, and that is given well in the chapter, uh, unleash yourself. So beautifully it has been given in the chapter. So you can say, and I even very well can say to anyone who's reading this book, that once you start reading, and by the end, and by the means you reach the end of the book, you will find yourself transformed. Trust me, just reading through a story, you'll find that, yeah, I'm transformed.
Let me share one of my experiences. When I was almost on the verge of giving up on my life, I was like, nothing is productive is happening in my life. On that time, I also used to read a lot of self-help books, and it really inspired me. But I didn't go through Shame at Life yet. I will definitely go through this book once this session is over. So, ma'am, talking about your next book that you already written, that Life at Crossroads. You told me before that the context of these books, but I would like to listen it once again. That in which context this Life at Crossroads have written.
Abhijit, we all face a lot of dilemma in our lives, no? Where it means we all must have one or the other situation where we had felt like, yeah, it's not easy to take decision. But my this book is going to convey the message that take a decision and make it the best for yourself. Now, I ask this question: why are you in this dilemma that you are not able to take this decision? Because you find both the choices are good. Definitely, if you'll get that one choice is not good at all and I'm not going to achieve anything from it, and definitely other choice is good, you will follow, then you will not be in dilemma. Definitely two choices which is making you to stand in a confusion state, or like in a fork, it means both the roads are good. So better take one road, choose one road, and prove it the best for you. And this book speaks about five people. This is a real story of five people who had proved their decisions the best in their life, irrespective of all the haywire things, all whatever the things they have faced from society, from family, everything. Some even had left their lives as well. So the book speaks about like choose and cling is equal to success. This is the theory in the whole book I have given. And these it means these five people whose stories I have written, they had followed this theory consistently. Choose plus cling. Whatever you have chosen, cling to it, you'll definitely get success. And they are the most successful people as per their decisions. I will not say that they have become Bollywood star or something like that. And I believe that anyone can write for Amitabh Bachchan or Sonu Sood or something. But we have common people in life who had achieved, who had taken decision and rocked their lives. That is why I have written this book, Life at the Red Cross.
Yeah, actually, the stories are always revolving around us, and you have to be a good observer, keen observer, and make a gist out of it and write it down. So, ma'am, sometimes, some point of times, I face some dilemma to take any decisions, and most of the times we have got some time frame that within this time frame we have to meet up with our decisions that we have made previously, but maybe within that time frame we can't get successful. So do you have any suggestions for those people who made some decisions, some planning that I'm going to do it in that particular time frame, but this when this time frame's over, they usually they give up. So what should they do on that particular point, that when everything is going against them, and to keep positive or stay focused on your particular decisions or goals?
For them, I would say read Life at the Red Crossroads, because the kind of situations my protagonist had faced, no one would have. Means it's the story of about a person like who was at the top of his corporate lifestyle. but he just left everything just to take care of his family. The other story is about a bunch of fools. If you will find that this is a group of 7 friends who had taken this decision to keep their city clean, Raipur clean, and the kind of situation they had faced, even from municipality, from politicians, everything, but they kept going irrespective of the situation. Third story is about a person who is just 2.5 feet tall. And the fourth story is about a transgender. So, can you
Hmm.
think if these people can rock their life irrespective of whatever the storm they have faced, then anyone can. You have to have that jest in your life. I want to say to people, if somewhere you fall down, no, I would say when you get up, you'll find yourself a step ahead. Trust me. This is literally true as well, and it is true philosophically as well. If I'll say you just fall down and get up, you'll be one step ahead. So move from that step. Storms
Right,
comes,
right.
it creates a havoc just for some time. After that, it gives you a chance to renovate yourself. Just because
Yes,
we have
actually,
fallen, just because we have not succeeded, we should not
hmm.
stop there. I want you to keep moving. Choose and cling.
So we have got so much of motivationals and inspirational characters all around us. But a writer who observe all these things and write them using the pen and paper and bring these things to their audience like us. So, ma'am, I want to ask you one thing: that how you observe these things? Uh, do a writer has got some set of perspectives to observe these things and uh, make the best out of it, and how to put it in the words? I mean, is there any mechanism you follow, or it's just coming in a way, in a spontaneous way? That is my question, sir. Observation, how observation is important for a writer.
Definitely. It's means if you really want to become a writer, I would say you have to inculcate, you have to deliberately inculcate that skill in you that you have to observe things. If you're talking to someone, try not to speak on that surface level. Try to understand, try to empathize. And even if you have, like, no, I am now in a kind of habit where this mouse has become a character for me. If I'll talk, I can talk. Means no, I can talk for hours with this mouse. You can speak to me a lot of things. My mobile can complain me many things, can give me a lot of things about what the mobile is happy about. We have to observe, means I try my best, even the table, the chair, the pillow I'm using, they all are life characters for me. So once you develop that skill where everything is speaking around you, you have to be very much observant. You have to be that empathetic. I would say you have to become a very good listener so as to imbibe that things. So when you are writing, you literally wear the skin of that person. You become that person and you write. Then only you'll be able to pour down the soul. Otherwise, we can write, many can write, but the things remain just at surface level. If you really want to go to the depths, observe, empathize, take the things as living objects. Try to put their skin on you and then write.
Exactly. Ma'am, this particular speech or the take on this particular thing has inspired me, because as spirituality says, even the science says that everyone has got a certain vibrations, certain frequency, and in which frequency they all vibrate. And if you hit those frequency, it's called resonance effect. So even the telephone has got its own vibration. So that's how the life exists everywhere. That's how I guess spirituality also believes lives in everywhere. So do you also practice spirituality?
Yes. Yes, a lot you can say. I exactly, if you really ask me what is spirituality, I can't define you. I can't give you any proper definition, but I feel that yes, I am a spiritual person. I try my best. It's not because I follow meditation or I do meditation 1 or 2 hours per day or I read such books. What I feel spirituality, the first step for spirituality is to just know yourself. Be that inner being, go to the inner depths, to the inner layers of yourself. Understand that the minutest heartbeat that is going inside you. When you understand yourself, your deepest emotion, the deepest layer, what is going on, definitely you'll understand the opposite person. And that is why the means wherever I have created a Facebook group also, and I have given it as a name, meet yourself. Spirituality doesn't mean ki you just sit in meditation. I think it's one definition just I understood till now is meeting yourself, knowing yourself. Once you know yourself, you can know the world. It says universe resides inside you.
Definitely.
When you
Yes,
understand
definitely,
every sound
definitely.
of
This
that
is
atom,
the
your cell,
same.
no? Hmm.
Yeah, right, right. Everything is made up of atoms, and atoms has got some particular characteristics, and this is the macroscopic level, and we're seeing the universe in the Sorry, this is the microscopic level, and we're seeing the universe in the macroscopic levels, but all are internally connected. That is true, ma'am. So now you're going to a bit deep into the conversation. Just make it a bit loosen up. So, ma'am, I saw a lot of videos and photos that you shared with your little son. So, I think you both are very friendly with each
Yes.
other. So, tell me something about your son and how do you maintain a relationship with him?
My son, he is more of an inspiration for me. He's a kind of person who keeps on boosting me, keeps on encouraging me. As if you know that we were practicing for speeches every day, he was like, practice color speech, you do it in front of me, you do it in front of camera, you should record it, you should see it. Means I procrastinate, but he's like, whatever you are doing, you are doing. He keeps a track. Like I have a goal for every day to write minimum 200 to 300 words for my books. If certain times or if I don't write, it's like, you have not written today, I've seen you have not done today. We have such a relationship with each another. Like
Wow.
I, I mean, when I push him, it's also okay for him, and more than me, he pushes me. Wherever I have reached, it's because of his support, inspiration, and he's always there. There are certain things that
That's
we may
something.
find because he's a teenager, but yes, he has more of positive traits rather than uh,
That's
as a
something
teenager.
incredible. Yes, yes. Even I think the teenagers that they can speak on now whatever they're going running through in their hearts and the minds they speak on spontaneously. And I think somewhere in your mind or heart, the teenager of your childhood version exists. That's why you can resonate and you're a friend of your son. I see a lot of videos on your Instagram.
Whatever videos I make, or he does only, he has started me with like, when I started writing, I started with quotes and all. And after a few days, I stopped myself. He was like, people will speak, but you just keep on doing your work. Keep on doing your work. And because of him, I'm here. He kept me consistent in my. I really
That's
love him for
incredible.
this thing. Yeah.
That's something really amazing, man. So, ma'am, any particular protocol you follow every day as a writer that you need to write down 300 or 400 words? Anything like that you follow?
Yes, I try my best that every day I had a fixed time, like around after 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I should sit on my laptop. At least I'll write 200 to 300 words every day. I know I'm not that consistent, but at least 4 to 5 days a week, I do it. And I even say to all the authors or that all the writers, if you have started with some writing work, means writing a book, write 200, 300, whatever be, like fix some time, like 9:30 to 10:30 or 9:30 to 10, whatever, half an hour or an hour, as per your convenience. Write few words, even if you have to edit the next day, but put down your ideas. And this is the magic of our subconscious mind also. When you do certain thing at the same time, no, it will give you ideas at that particular time. So the whole day I don't have to think about my book. I have a particular time, like 9:30 to 10:30. I have to work on my book. And now the speed has become so good that even within half an hour or 1 hour, I can even write 1,000 words. It depends upon how now the things are working. I started with this, like, yeah, 200 words every day, 300 words every day.
Wow.
Let it be whatever the words. Grammar and all, I'll check afterwards. Whatever has come, I put down.
That's nice. That is one of the takeaways from this session. When I do write, I do write also, but sir, ma'am, yes. So I have a question that what do you write actually for? Only just because you are publishing a book, this thoughts came in your mind, or something in your life experiences also, that something great you have seen in front of your eyes and wrote it down, or some ideas came into the mind. So I'm telling you that what is those writings are?
Those writings, as I told you, na, I just started writing 3 years back. Abhijit, are you there? Yes. I started writing 3 years back. And at that time, no, I was literally in the very bad phase of my life. And I had a very,
Hmm.
very bad experience, but I came over it. I literally won the situation. So I felt that somewhere I also need to infuse the things into the people, that whatever be the situation, you can do something. And I started writing this book, She Met Life. And then when it
Hmm.
really went successful, I can come up with another book. This is also going good. A few months back, I was of this idea that I'm writing this book, or whatever the works I'm doing, like writing blogs and all, I'm going to help people. But I have read a book a few months back, The Big Magic, where the author is saying, don't write even to help anyone. Just write because your soul is shouting you to write it. Yes, that was the great point. I write She Met Life. I understood because my soul was asking me to write it, that you have to
Hmm.
send your message to the world. Something you have to leave here when you will die. You have to leave your experiences, what you have learned over here. Don't worry whether the book is selling. Don't worry whether your artistic work is liked or not liked. Just do it because you want to leave your experience.
Exactly. So
That
your
that is
experience
the beautiful.
actually, uh, I have seen somewhere that the best book that you can follow is the book of your life. You just go to your past and you can see all the results if you're
Yes,
in
yes,
doubt.
yes.
You are just coming out with your experiences and become Amazon's bestseller. It's incredible, ma'am. So, ma'am, what's your best moment as a writer? That sort of recognition I got. This is the best moment as a writer I achieved.
For me, as a writer, every day after 9:30 to 10:30, or whatever the time I sit and I come up with ideas, I scribble it. That is the best moment. Book can be bestseller. The other book may not be bestseller. That those things are just momentary. But you have written it down. You whatever you decided to accomplish, you have accomplished. That is more than enough, and that is the best moment. After 10:30, when I sleep with no ideas in my mind, means those were jostling throughout the day. I just put on the paper, best, and I can sleep sound. That is the
The
best moment for
moment
me.
moment of satisfaction actually, and
Moment of satisfaction.
you're having this moment of satisfaction in every day. That is quite
Yes.
remarkable.
Yes.
So, ma'am, now coming to some other part of writing books and publishing the books, I know that someone is a good writer, good at writing, and good at delivering their stories. So, do you think in this market, this writing skill is sufficient to be a best-selling author, or there are some sort of other skills that needed, marketing skills or something other that one should need to keep in their minds?
Definitely. See, Abhijit, you need to understand that you have cooked your dish, but you're not serving it. Then what is the usage? No use of it. It will spoil. Definitely, marketing is necessary for a book because there is huge competition. But before that, it is more
Hmm.
important that whatever you are scribbling on the paper, whatever you are scribbling on the laptop, you should scribble your heart out. You should scribble your soul out. Don't write it. Don't at all write it just because I have to write a book. There should be something. Your soul should be there. And when once you feel joyful while writing and you leave your things, it will definitely get success. and things will automatically follow. I believe in synchronicity. I never marketed my book, just I posted every day one quote about Srimad life, and it get the things only this way only. I never spent on these things and on those things, just by via my Facebook or Instagram post. The book has got this much things because it is giving the message of my soul to everyone. I believe this.
Fabulous. So, two things that I have the takeaway from this answer, that one have to be consistent and one have to be honest to yourself. And if you honesty can get connected to others very easily, without even being, I mean, go for so much of events, you can also post it on your Instagram, and you can influence, and you can be a best-selling author, right, ma'am? So honesty is the key, and consistency is the key, right? So, ma'am, what's your thoughts on publishing ebooks? Because I saw a lot of people are publishing ebooks. So, is it a good scope for a beginner to start with?
One can go for it. I believe in publishing a paperback because still people like paperback. They still want to have this, those who are book lovers know, they still want to have that beautiful smell of the book. Even if you'll ask me, I love to buy paperback rather than having some audiobooks or some ebooks, because that will not give you that taste you really wanted. Go for an ebook, you
Hmm.
can have it for some time, but definitely go for the paperback. And it is not going to get over in the coming times. I can say you this. The book lovers are still there,
Okay.
because I find even during my sales also, I find that my paperback is doing much better work than my ebook.
Hmm. Right. So, ma'am, I'm not going to ask you a lot of technicalities about the publishing of a books. I have got some knowledge about publishing scientific papers, that you have to go through certain procedures, you have to send your papers to publications. Uh, so, if you can brief us about, for the rudimentary authors, that what's the process that need to follow without going to too much of technicalities, just a brief
Yeah,
flow chart.
definitely. See, you have started writing a book, and you must have an idea of the outline of your book, some strategies, how much long I want my book, how many number of words I am wanting, and how many chapters I'll write for the books, for your book. So I would definitely say once you complete your 3 chapters, start looking for publishers, because once you complete writing and then you look for publisher, then it is going to be a very hectic task for you. Moreover, it means no, you grow impatient. I have written, now I want to want a publisher. You may or may not get on time. Start looking for a publisher once you accomplish writing 3 chapters. Try first with traditional publishers, if they will accept your book, if they are happy, because they look for first 3 chapters only. If they are happy with your book, they'll definitely accept it, and they will definitely give you the opportunity. And if they're
Hmm.
not accepting, no need to worry at all. Gone are the days when traditional publishing was into the scene. These days self publishing is more into the market, and self published books are doing much better work than these traditional books, trust me. Just the thing is that traditional publishers, they market their book, but in self-publishing, you have to go ahead. At least you know this is my work. And for self-publishing, no one is going to make any kind of twist or turns, or going to change your idea. So whatever you want to pour out into the
Hmm.
market, into the people, you can. So sometimes,
Right.
because authors
So,
ask me
in
that
the self-public,
self-publishing, hmm, sometimes author ask me that self-publishing
in,
is not a good is, is not a good idea. But I would say, even you search internet, Google as well, these days self-publishing is taking a steep rather than a traditional publishing. And if you remember Robin Sharma's first book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, he published
yes,
it
yes,
self. Yes. After that, he
on self.
established himself. And one more thing, I don't want to say technicality. I would definitely say that don't stop yourself. If you really want to become an author, don't stop yourself with just one book. Sometimes we have to have that thing. Yeah, one book I have written, it's over. If you really want to establish yourself self as a publisher, as an author, go ahead, keep on writing. Don't stop your journey.
Right, right, right. So, ma'am, in self publication, that you need to have some budget for publishing all those paperbacks, or it's completely you can go online?
They have, like, if you'll go for self-publishing publishers, they have their own packages, their own set. You can even start, they start from a very minimum package to whatever package you want, up to the marketing. It depends upon what what you really want to spend for your book,
Okay.
with whom you
Okay.
want to go. Yes.
Got this. So, ma'am, now you're becoming an established author, you're a teacher, you're a coach, you have got so much in
Thank you.
your by the side of your name. So, ma'am, now just going to ask you one thing, that what's your biggest goal in life? Do you have any biggest goal that is the goal that I need to achieve, or I see myself? Do you have anything such goals in your life?
As I told you, like, when I was a child, I never had goals. Whatever the things keep coming in my life, I accepted. And even if you today also ask me that see some myself somewhere, then I would say there is no
Hmm.
end to it. I sometimes dream of myself standing in front, and millions of people are shouting in front of me just to listen my words or voices. But that is not my end dream or my end goal, or I want my books to reach to many people. My only goal, the extreme goal, is that when at night I sleep, I should have a satisfied sleep.
Wow.
I want a sound sleep.
That is
I
something
should not do
remarkable.
something bad to anyone. The entire day I take care of myself. I should not create any kind of fuss inside. This is my goal for
Uh,
every day.
since last 1 year that you have already seen that you have said you have got some set of goals. Something can, anything can happen in front of you, and that can be an hindrance to reach out your goal. But giving satisfied after the end of the day, you're satisfied and sleeping peacefully. That is something remarkable. That is the biggest goal. Inspiring, man. So, ma'am,
Thank you so much.
ma'am, I saw your videos in the Instagram and Facebook as well. Now you motivate people by your words and some activities you also do. So what's your motivational force? As you told me that your son is the motivational force for yourself. Any other motivational force you have that which motivates you?
Something which inspires me most is me only. I am my
Hmm.
inspiration, and that inspiration stays inside me. And sometimes when it calls, yes, Shweta, you have to do this. You have to spread this word of this thing into the world. You had faced it, go ahead. When it
Mhm.
calls, it really calls. I don't stop myself. I don't even think what people will think. I don't even think that I'm posting on Facebook, what kind of comments I'll get. It's fine. My soul is shouting to do, I do. My soul is my inspiration. I am my inspiration.
It's a soul of whole of positivity, and that's how you spread the positivity. We get the vibes within a fraction of a second. It's something remarkable. Ma'am, now one more question. I think you have already answered this, but if you have got a few points to add, please speak. Then, what is the suggestions for the budding authors?
I would say to the budding authors is, first of all, be consistent. Sometimes consistency stops us. And the second
Hmm.
thing I would say, definitely, just write it out if you really want to write. Don't stop.
Right,
People will
ma'am.
be
So
happy.
you
People may
already
not be
have
happy.
mentioned.
Do it.
I mean, not only just think about it, just write it down, and it can change the world. As you
Yeah.
changed a lot of people's life. That's how, and it can happen to anyone else as well if they are honest with their words. That I completely got it. So, ma'am, now we are just ending towards the session. So let me ask one thing: that do you have any suggestions for me? Because I want to carry on this podcast. So do you have any suggestions that how can I improve after this session?
No, I would not say any point of improvement, and there is never improvement required for anyone. Whatever you are doing right now, if you have done, that is more than enough. Many of them are literally thinking and they're not doing what you have done today. This is the best thing you have done. But if you really want that a piece of advice, I would again say be consistent. Don't think that people had listened to my podcast or not. Once you'll publish it after 2, 3, 4 years, you'll find, okay, yes, this is what I have done. If you look back at your journey, because this is what I've learned even from my experience when I wrote my first quote. Was in the beginning I started writing quotes, posting on Facebook, and that too just
Yeah.
as
Yes.
typing it. I kept writing, kept writing, kept writing, kept writing. 3 years. And when I look back, that day when I had posted the quote, it didn't get much likes, 4 to 5. No.
Oh, that is incredible. Right, ma'am. I strongly follow that consistency is the key. And whenever I realize this, I never been inconsistent. I think I can do also this justice to my podcast show as well. So ma'am, just we are just ending towards the session. We'll be ending with a quote that you shared that your favorite quote is involve to evolve. That was something that is inspiring. So what will be your suggestions or message towards the youth that you need to involve in those things to evolve? Your messages for the youth.
Yes. I'll definitely say everyone, and I say to everyone, involve to evolve. Means involve yourself in designing your life so beautifully that one day you become a masterpiece. Become that masterpiece, aim for that masterpiece. And for that, you have to become consistent. You have to follow what your heart is saying. Don't listen to this head. Sometimes it pokes its nose. Don't let it to vote for it. Whatever you want, if you really want it, you will get it. Involve yourself in that. It says 0.1% of improvement every day will bring best results within 1 year. If you have read this book by James Clear, Atomic Habits, if you're
Yes, yes,
consistent,
yes,
if
ma'am.
you have
Really.
involved, yes, you will achieve anything.
Right. So we have to involve in positive things, positive attitude, positive consistency, then we can evolve. That
Yeah.
is something. So, ma'am, we are just ending our session. I have already asked you that whatever questions I had to ask um, as a author and as a host for the first time. It's been a
Thank
bit
you so much.
awkward for me, but I enjoyed every bit of the session. And I want to thank you from the core of my heart for your time, for your patience, and you spoke so really well. And entire session, I got so much of takeaways. I have noted down in my notebook as well. And the suggestions you have given to me, I will definitely follow. Few of them I'm still following. I already got the result in my life. And ma'am, it's been an inspirational and phenomenal session. Thank you, ma'am, for coming to my podcast and giving your time.
Thank you so much, Abhijit, to you for calling me. I'm your first guest. So I would say you be
Yes,
consistent. And thank you so much. It's an honor for me that you have called me for your first podcast. Thank you so much. This iPod is actually disturbing.
thank you, ma'am.